At the young age, I remember watching a movie called Juice. A lot of people might remember Juice. And at that time, I think everybody in my neighborhood and in my school, everybody just wanted to be a DJ because the movie was just so cool, and the star in the movie was a DJ. Like he was torn in between the streets and DJing. You know what I'm saying? So that and the combination of a show called Yo MTV Raps. Turn on MTV or MTV Raps and just see like all the coolest DJs just DJing. And then remember Kid Capri and Def Comedy Jam. It was like Def Comedy Jam was the big thing at the time. Russell Simmons would come out, and then every week Kid Capri would get like 2 minutes just to tear it down. So all those things just influenced me, and I kind of just knew at a young age that I didn't fit the characteristic of a rapper. Rappers were more like outgoing, arrogant, boisterous, like loud people, you know what I'm saying? So I just told myself, man, like, I want to be a part of this culture, and I think I want to either make beats or DJ or both, and I kind of just eventually got a pair of turntables and took it from there. Absolutely, I think everyone has tried out rapping. You know what I'm saying? I probably had a short-lived 4-day rap career. You know what I'm saying, that I didn't enjoy at all, and I just always had a love for like other music. You know what I'm saying? Like when I first touched vinyl and the turntables, it was just a feeling that it was just an unexplainable feeling. Like it was just like, this is for me. Like, and I remember the first night I got turntables, I tell people like, I probably plugged in the turntables and started messing around. I didn't know what I was doing, but I probably plugged in my turntables and started messing around at like 9 p.m. and then turned off to like 5 in the morning. And it felt like 1 hour, you know what I'm saying? And still to this day, like when I'm DJing and doing what I love, doing what I connect with, like it doesn't feel like, if it's an hour, it feels like 5 minutes. If it's 8 hours, it feels like 2 hours, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I think, that's one of those things where you can, like time flies when you're having fun. I think that's when you know you really connect with someone. Probably college. You know what I'm saying? Before then, it was kind of a blur. It was kind of like, this is a hobby. This is something I love to do. This is something a lot of people was telling me that I'm good at. But the moment in college when I remember when I had to start making decisions like, am I gonna go DJ or am I gonna go to class? You know what I'm saying? Like, but my schedule became like Tuesday to Sunday, just parties, and not even just night parties, block parties all across the state and everything. Then I told myself, like, all right, I'm not the type of person that likes to stop what I start. Like, I'm gonna finish what I start. So I'm definitely gonna finish school. So I would turn down some of those gigs. But at the same time, I was like, this is getting so crazy that I'm just getting the message that this is what I'm supposed to do. Like, people love to hear me DJ live, and on top of that, when I'm DJing live, people are running up to me, you got any mixtapes, mix CDs, and all this other stuff. So it's kind of like the people in the universe telling me, this is where you belong, you know what I'm saying? So I'll say, at a point in college, I think it was like junior, senior year, I just kind of knew like, this is it, you know what I'm saying? Well, obviously, DJing is being able to it's like DJing is being able to play music for people, and it's kind of like, you know, reading people. Like if you're in a club, somebody might come up and request a song, but a lot of times you don't even know these people at all. You just have to kind of go off of moves and emotions and entertain them and play the music that satisfies them. Production is a whole different thing because you're taking something from scratch. You know what I'm saying? So you're taking, like, you have to literally think ahead and say, this is what's gonna sound good this summer or this winter or next summer. You have to think ahead, you know what I'm saying? So both of them are very creative art forms, but I feel like, you know, they're kind of like two different ends of the spectrum because we kind of look, even more so than the rappers, it's kind of DJs and producers kind of connect. Like I have a lot of producer friends that are like, man, I got this crazy sound coming this summer, it's gonna be this up-tempo, this, that, and the third. Or a producer might hit me and say, like, what's going on in the club? Like, what are people reacting to? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, people not really on down-tempo right now. Like, people want to be up-tempo and happy, the sun is out, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like one and the same, but two different sides of the spectrum per se. Originality. That's my thing with hip hop, period, rap music, whatever you want to call it. Like, I've always looked for originality. I come from a school that, you know, if another DJ is going right, you go left. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's something that's not necessarily embraced these days. Like it's kind of cool to mimic yourself after other people these days. But for me, my whole excitement in this was just new. I always say music to me is like fashion. You know what I'm saying? Like I like new fashion. You know what I'm saying? I like different fashion. Like I don't like the same thing every year, or every summer, or every season. It's the same thing for me. Like when somebody like the biggest turn off will be somebody that comes up and like, hey man, check out my CD. I sound like the Migos. Toss. Hey man, check out my CD. I sound like T.I. Toss. You know what I'm saying? Like originality and innovation is everything in this game for me at least. That's one of those questions. You know, all of my projects have like that's part of a timeline to like my life and career. Obviously one that's dear to my heart is Rest His Soul, Shawty Low, I'm the Man, Part 1 and 2. You know, I always tell people those are the mixtapes that changed my life. Like, I remember Busta Rhymes calling me and Twista, all these people that I idolized. I thought they were prank calls, to be completely honest. They were like, yo, ain't you Shawty Low's DJ? Yo, what's up, blah, 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 blah. Like, this is a prank call. That mixtape even led to a super early morning call from Rick Ross, and I thought that was really a prank call because it was funny. It was like, this the boss. So he spent like 2 minutes saying, this the boss. I'm like, who's the boss? Ricky Rose. Oh, how you doing? Good morning. You know what I'm saying? Like, that mixtape just opened up all kind of crazy doors for me the first time I went overseas internationally, and that shocked me because people were like, DJ Scream. I'm like, I just flew 9 hours. You know who I am? Like, it was just kind of surreal. So that's one of those projects that's dear to my heart. But I mean, me and Gucci have done amazing projects. Me and Jeezy, me and Rocco, me and Plies, me and Soulja Boy, me and Rick Ross, me and Migos. Like, we've all done some amazing projects. So they all kind of are like a special part of my timeline. You dig? You can't choose between old hip hop and new hip hop. I feel like a lot has changed, but it's still a progressive art form. When you break down the elements of hip hop, if you want to get into it, you got MCing, DJing, graffiti, somebody help me out. Breakdancing, yes, can't forget the breakdancers. You know, I feel like the modern day breakdancers are the kids that's dancing at the club, doing their little crazy, silly dances. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the modern day breakdancer. They might not spin on their head no more, but they still come up with dances that go viral across the world. You know what I'm saying? Silento. You know what I'm saying? When I travel, I still hear the Silento record. That's like modern day dance. You know what I'm saying? I feel like graffiti still exists, and you see it kind of as you're cruising through the city or the hood. But you know, modern day graffiti is just art. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people like mixtape cover artists like the modern day graffiti almost. You know what I'm saying? You can't really choose. You know what I'm saying? I feel like one feeds the other, but I do feel like the new hip hop generation should. Most athletes know who Michael Jordan is. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like modern day hip hop artists should go back and just know Cool J, a Rakim, or this person and that person, just to be, you know, to have knowledge. DJ influence, rapper influence, or just person, or like
DJ influence, someone that helped you grow in your career?
On a I won't say a TV level, but people like Kid Capri, DJ Screw, Rest His Soul, you know, Funkmaster Flex, DJ Clue, Who Kid, all the mixtape DJs, they definitely influenced me because outside of just the art form of just DJing, I studied their business. You know what I'm saying? And I always told myself, like, I don't want to just be the DJ that doesn't handle my business. And I felt like all of those names were people that had brands and actually did other things other than just DJ. So from afar, I'll definitely say those names influenced me. It's kind of hard to say personally, like, I in the same respect, I've been honored to meet all of them. So, you know, and talking to a DJ Khaled, like, he's not gonna talk to you too much, but he's gonna give you a gem. You know what I'm saying? He'll put his hand on your shoulder and give you a gem, and it's kind of like, all right, let me take this gem and dissect it and see what it really means. You know what I'm saying? So, there's several DJs that show love to me and it kind of like, you know, influenced me and taught me things. They called me and they said we want you to do a mixtape on the radio because mixtapes became so powerful. And you know, big shouts out to Sirius, you know, Hip Hop Nation, XM. They were the first people to kind of see my brand as something that would work on radio. And it was kind of rough around the edges, but that was like my first training into radio, which eventually led here to iHeart Radio. I think for me, it wasn't really a transition because my rule was like, if y'all want me to come do radio, I'm gonna do it in a very mixtape way. Now, obviously, we're not going to be cursing on radio and doing some of the things that happen on mixtapes, but you know, like I said, I like new stuff. So you're going to hear a new record. You're not just going to hear the same thing over and over. Like you might just hear a new record, and I might just take a risk on the record and just say, look, I think this is high. I think this is the next big hit. Listen to this. You know what I'm saying? So in a lot of ways, it's very similar to what I did in mixtapes, just bringing the new, fresh stuff to the people in the mainstream. I mean, I feel like we're all the movement, you know what I'm saying? Like myself and other DJs were the DJs that supported them, and you know, you gotta think 10 years ago, the South wasn't so cool. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people were like, oh, these people can't rap, these people can't do this, these people can't and do this and do that. But you know what I always tell people is like the South and Atlanta makes hits. We've been on the top of the charts and Billboard and media base and this. We've been on the top of the charts forever. Remember 106 in Park? We were always at the top of 106 in Park. So, you know, for me, I feel like, you know, we're all one culture. We all respect each other. Like when I see T.I., so I'm in the airport not too long ago, he always shows me a lot of love and respect. Same thing for Gucci Mane, Jeezy, Future, all of these people, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like we're all one culture that supports each other. I think for a long, our unity, just like we said, like we all respect each other. It's not like we're all best friends and hang out every day, but there's a respect there. And I think at least looking at New York came to a point where there was just so much division, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody was just dissing each other, so much beef and this and that and so forth. And then it's like, you know, when that whole era happened where everybody was just kind of torn apart, it seems like New York hasn't been the same since they lost their unity that they had in the 90s that we looked up to and we admired, you know what I'm saying? So I think the West Coast has you know, a pretty solid, you know, unified culture as well, but it definitely the separation is something I feel like it hurt the New York scene. Originality. I feel like pop culture feeds off of hip hop culture. It's like they come to hip hop culture, they take it, and then it's like, okay, well let's go do what the Migos do. Let's go do what the Future. Let's go do this. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of times pop culture exploits hip hop culture. You know what I'm saying? So I always tell people like, yo, let's not go try to aim to be pop. Like, let's be ourselves and let them catch up to us because we're influencing the world, as you can see. You know what I'm saying? The fact that it's a language, the fact that going overseas and DJing, people don't know English, but they know the words to Snoop Dogg. That's the only American they know. Like, okay, well, I don't know English, but it's like this, it's like that, it's like that, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a universal language as I travel, which is dope all the way to Asia. It's just kind of like, it's almost like, I hate to say it, it's almost like weed or marijuana is the common bonding thing. Like, I can have on this, and somebody could be right there and have on a suit and tie, and if we start talking about hip hop, we start bonding. It's like, oh, you listen to Jay-Z to me, I like Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying? So that's what I like. I feel like hip hop is one of those music forms that brings people together, you know what I'm saying? It's a common bond. Man, strive, I mean, if we want hip hop to be here 20 to 30 years from now, strive to be original. I'll say that again. You know, that's what got us here, and if we wanted to last, like everybody can't just duplicate each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just no fun in that. There's no progression in that. Strive to be yourself. Don't try to be this person or that person. You were born to be you. You know what I'm saying? So definitely strive to be yourself and innovate and create something new to keep us forward. To me, it's life. You know what I'm saying? It's part of my life. Like, I try to detox from music sometimes, and it doesn't work out very well. So, it represents life. It gives me life, and I know that it gives a lot of people, other people, life and opportunity. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my close friends that come from the streets, if it wasn't for hip hop, they would probably not have hope. You know what I'm saying? So it also represents hope and expression. It represents a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? A lot of different aspects of my life and others. Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm a man first. I'm a hustler first. So I'm sure I would have made my way. But this is what honestly, like I told you, makes me happy. It doesn't feel like a job every day. I don't know. That's a good one. You know what I'm saying? But I think I would have found my way. But this is just comforting. You know what I'm saying? You kind of know when you're in a place, in a space that you're supposed to